Alrighty guys, welcome back. We're here with another round from our Aussie Collectibles set champs. We're going into round number 4 here. We have Robert against Glenn here, so coming down to the wire, 2 rounds left before a top 8 cut. Going to have some more fun games here for you today. If you haven't caught it yet, I've just done a video the other day on the new Arcasia's Island cards, so go check that out. It's going to be an awesome new set coming out next month. And be sure to tune in on Twitch once the set comes out. We're going to be doing all sorts of fun things like pack openings, set reviews, tier lists, and deck building. It's going to be an awesome set coming out with lots of cool new cards, including the Duel Links. So going to be awesome and can't wait for that. So let's get into the game here. I believe we have Robert going first. Not sure what they're playing just yet, so going to be a surprise for all of us. Let's see how it all pans out. We see the beautiful playmats here from each player. Ravensburger doing a fantastic job at these art playmats coming out with each set. The new Tigger one, my personal favorite, might potentially pick one up. It looks fantastic. I'm just giving it a thorough shuffle here. I believe these players are currently 2-1. So an important match here with the winner basically securing their spot. Okay, guys, let's cut to the game. Here we go. So getting into, looks like we've got Glenn on the Blurple and Robert Steele Song, Diggy Hole potentially. Looks like Glenn will be going first. Inking the Sail probably means he has another ramp card in that nice turn 1 drop here. We do see the T-bow in hand there for Glenn, so we're going to have that for turn 2 here. Cinderella coming down means that this broom might need to be banished. Cinderella's can quite easily sing that Storm Rage on to banish it. So I imagine we're going to banish the broom here and draw a card off the T-bow. It's a good call from Glenn here, inking the Sail instead of the T-bow, because I'm not sure he has another 1-drop in hand here. So yeah, I believe Robert is playing the Diggy Hole version, as we see the dock in his hand there. The T-bow going to ink a card here. Looks like it's going to be that Shift Elsa. Just thinking about the broom banish. Yeah, I think the correct call here is sacking the broom just in case a Storm Rage on. And we do see a top deck there, so good call from Glenn banishing that broom. Otherwise, that Storm would have taken out the broom and wouldn't have gotten the draw off it. So nice Mr. Smear there from Robert. Going to be able to ink a card and play that down. I think he's going to have to go quite quick in this matchup, as if Glenn can sort of start ramping and get to his big characters, it's going to be quite difficult. Does just go with a Calhoun. I think the Smee probably would have been better there, just quest for a bit more. And Glenn's not going to have anything exerted this turn, so the Smee won't be doing too much, especially when it's an evasive genie that Calhoun can't even challenge into. So probably should have had the Smee come down there. Looks like there is another Storm in hand, so Cinderella can sing that. Deal some damage to this genie, maybe draw into another song that you can hard cast to take the genie out. But yeah, again, we see why this Smee would have been good here, just being able to quest for an extra 1, put the pressure on Glenn. Yeah, so we're going to sing this one here. Oh, just a quest here. Lilo, interesting choice here. Probably going to be a Piglet. Oh, just the Smee. Okay, again, Piglet probably would have been a little better here. The Smee extra strength won't be challenging too much. But I guess the thought is that next turn Smee can quest, and if you place Piglet, you won't get damaged on the Smee, but you just sort of need to go aggressive here. You can't let Glenn sort of run away with it. Well, Piglet probably would have been banished anyway, so maybe a good call there from Robert. But I guess if the Piglet was banished, at least you'd still have the Singer here to sing the Storm Rage on and draw some cards. Looks like it's a double Piglet in hand, so it might even just ink the Lawrence and play double Piglet. Then next turn can play the Dock to start drawing some more cards. Yep, so you see the ink of the Lawrence and play 2 and 2 for the Piglets. Probably quest with Calhoun here, I would imagine. Ooh, no quest. Interesting. I think the Calhoun quest here is probably fine. No damage from the Smee because the Piglet is, of course, the Pooh Pirate Captain. Yeah, okay. I was a bit concerned Glenn might be singing with the Genie. I think you always want to sing with the Elsa first. But you're probably not challenging into this Smee. So of course you draw something like a crab. It's just going to sing the friends, draw a couple of cards. Looks like he did get a crab here, so maybe something like a fox would be quite useful here. I'm just deciding here. Looks like, yep, okay, so he does have that fox, so nice play here, able to take out that Smee. Robert just forgetting about his Pooh Pirate Captain. We're going to ink the broom and play probably a crab. Okay, interesting play. Just takes out with the Genie. Prefer to have that Elsa in hand, just have this the ability to take out some of these characters when they're played from Robert, as he could run away with it now. Going to be costing 4-7. I'm going to take out the Genie, draw a card. Imagine it'll be something like a Cinderella played here. Maybe probably just ink the Pluto, and then you can always dock next turn. Pluto would be quite good next turn, so I wonder if Robert just doesn't exert here, and that is what he does. Obviously, the Elsa can come down and take out one of the Piglets. But I'm probably not going to want to quest really with these characters, as the Calhoun can take them out and gain the lore. Ooh, that Bell's going to be quite good for next turn, especially if that Elsa comes down now. Going to ink the sail, and I imagine we're going to see this Elsa. We'll exert a Piglet and take it out with the Elsa. Probably just quest with the crab, I would imagine. You've already got the fox exerted, so you're not too concerned about another character being exerted. Ooh, just going to take out the Cinderella, so not going to want these characters. I would sort of like to see the tap on the Piglet being able to challenge take 2, and then next turn can Bell to take out another Piglet if it decides not to challenge, or we see this Pluto bodyguard come down. And then I imagine we're going to see a challenge into the fox. We're going to not challenge with the crab here, as this crab can be quite useful in taking out the Pluto. Okay, so Robert really sort of advancing his lore here. Again, we can see something like a crab and Elsa into Pluto, and then, okay, just going to Hades. So he did have that one in hand, so he can now take out the entire board. Robert does have that extra ink to work with. Probably go a bit wide here. Probably ink the Keita, go Daisy, and Dock, draw some more cards. Let's see the Daisy. I think that's a Keita. So definitely should be inking first. Robert, just thinking here. I think that really is the only option here is if you leave this character as the only one, it's probably going to be quite easy to take it down. Maybe like another Elsa or even a Madam Mim on the Elsa to play the Elsa back down. So I think definitely the ink and play the dock here is the play for Robert. Yep, so we see the Kita inked, 2 for dock, and then still has 3 ink to work with depending on what he draws. Looks like it's a Happy and a Rapunzel. So if Glenn exerts his characters, the Daisy can actually challenge into one of the 3 strength characters, and then Rapunzel will draw a lot of cards. So interesting to see if Glenn plays around that or has a way to remove this Daisy. Just going to ink the sail. Goes up to 8 ink now. Rabbit will just draw a card. And then probably just a goat to gain a law. And then we'll see if he quests here. Just with the Elsa. I was thinking about it here. What is that one card in hand? It's only one for Robert. Do you put him on having the Rapunzel, or do you just hope he doesn't have it? I mean, he had 3 ink and just played a Happy. You've got to think he's got a 4 cost or higher in his hand. Could put him on a Pluto, but we haven't seen a Rapunzel yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if Glenn puts him on having that Rapunzel in hand. I mean, the Happy can take out the Elsa, which is pretty good. Ooh, Glenn does just go for the quest. Interesting here. So put him on not having the Rapunzel, but unfortunately Robert does have it in hand. So I imagine we're going to see a Daisy into the Hades for 1 and then Rapunzel draw 3. Yep, there we go. And Glenn's not going to be happy about that. 3 extra cards in this matchup is not what you want to see. And then I'm going to pay 2 ink for Calhoun or Smee, and should be 1 damage on the Hades at the moment. I mean, Glenn does have a lot of characters on board. That is Calhoun there. Again, sorry about the glare. We do fix it in the mini games tournament, which happened on the Sunday. So, fortunately, not going to be much glare after that, thankfully. Probably just going to be a quest here. Again, that 1 damage on the Hades. There we go. Robert has picked that up. Okay, doesn't quest with the dock here. So, currently has 4 on board, but something like a Kita next to it could be very interesting if Glenn doesn't have a fox or a crab. I'm going to ink the Chernobyls. There's 5 ink at the moment. I'm going to take out the Daisy. It'll be interesting to see if Glenn puts him on a Rapunzel again. Going to move the damage to take out the Calhoun. Very nice, getting around that resist. And just going to go with the quest for 4 up to 11. So currently questing for enough on board. I believe that is 9 exactly. So Robert going to have to take out some of these characters, but I don't know if he has enough strength. He might have a strength of a Raging Fire in hand. Looks like he's just going to play a Kita. Again, probably would have liked to have seen the quest later on, just in case he drew into something like a strength to take out at least one of these characters. It looks like he doesn't have it there anyway, so Glenn looks like he's going to take it down here, questing for 9 and take game number 1. Now, Glenn did go first, so bit of an easier time here, but Robert going first in the second one with this sort of aggressive deck. We'll see how he goes. Looks like Glenn hasn't seen that he's got it just yet. Yep, so just counting up, and that'll be Glenn taking down game number 1 here, and then Robert going first in game number 2. So Thanks everyone for watching so far. If you're enjoying it, please like, subscribe so you know when all of my other videos go live. And we'll get into game number 2. So let's get into the second game here. Robert will be going first. Looks like he's got a couple of Seven Dwarfs mines in hand. So doesn't find the 1-drop here. Unfortunate start here for Robert. Really tough, especially going first, not getting the 1-drop. Going to make it a lot harder, especially when Glenn has a 1-drop of his own. We're interested to see if Glenn has his turn 2 ramp, however. Looks like it's just going to be a Calhoun. So nice here, putting on the pressure, making sure Glenn plays a character. Turn 2, looks like he probably just has to ink a sail and then play the sail. So probably just not going to quest with this broom here, as it will be easily targeted down by the Calhoun if it does quest. Looks like he has another 1-drop just contemplating, so could have quested and then banished the broom, but just decides not to. Now I'm going to ink a mine to play another mine. We're just a quest with the Calhoun here, so starting to gain that lore. Glenn has already got his ramp and possibly looking at that turn 3 genie here. Ink another Tipo. Play a crab, so give challenger. Going to take out the Calhoun. Very nice play here for Glenn. And just churn a box and then challenge it to the mine for 1. So this way we'll be able to banish next turn, even if this broom gets taken out. Even something like a fox would help Glenn enough to take out this mine. But Robert could potentially ink and play a character for 2 and then move into the mine to banish the churner box, just making that a little bit harder for it to get removed. That mine having the 2 cost to move there can be a little bit tricky sometimes, as this deck doesn't sort of caps out at quite a low amount of ink. Looks like it's a whole bunch of uninkables actually. Robert, I think it just has 4 uninkables in hand now. A couple of songs with no singers. It looks like we're going to see the fox. Now, interesting that this fox came down. I think there probably was a better way to do that. Maybe something like quest with all 3, play the fox, bring the crab back to give fox challenger. I mean, then you probably wouldn't have the crab in play. You'd have your both 1 costs exerted. We're just going to take out the churner box here. Or the broom. Maybe you'll challenge into the churner box here. Just going to play happy. Or we're just going to leave everything here. Looks like it's just 1 card in hand for Glenn at the moment, so it would have been interesting to check out the churner box, sort of slow down his card draw a little bit, but you have to imagine he's got some sort of card draw in hand here. Yep, and he does have that genie that comes down. Probably going to banish here and draw to see what he gets. Does have that Diablo he could play down here. Would be a good card since, okay, just decides to not go with it. Because next turn could play the snake to bring the crab back and give challenger to the Diablo. Okay, just going to bring the fox back to hand. Alright, Robert does have a bodyguard. Would be quite good, but he does know that Glenn has the fox in hand, which can take it out thanks to the crab giving it challenger. He's just going to go with that option anyway. So yeah, obviously Glenn here, just quest for the crab, play fox to take out the Pluto. Then Mim into the... Oh, just going to get the Hades as well, so that even better play here potentially. Snake will just take out the... No, just valuing the characters on board rather than the damage on the genie. And that's fine here because the unlikely that a mine will come down and move in, and probably just going to be a storm instead. So Genie would have been banished regardless if he challenged into the happy. Robert just having to hardcast these songs probably doesn't feel very good. Hasn't been able to find a singer. Probably another storm onto the snake here. Can't quite see what else he has in hand, but hardcasting storm twice does not feel good, especially when he went first here. So really shows how the deck can sort of falter if you don't find some of those singers early on. Just going to quest for 3 from Glenn. So has already hit the lead, has a huge board advantage. Let's see how Robert goes bringing it back. I believe that's a dock in hand, so we'll have that option going into the next turn. And thanks to the Hades, does have 6 ink now. Interestingly, brings back the crab. I wonder if the Hades bringing back was a bit better there, just to sort of remove some of these characters. So the double dock in hand, just playing them down to get more characters. The heat not as impactful against Blurple here. Stop things like friends, maybe a couple let it go, but just decides to play the dock down rather than discarding it off the first one. Next turn does have a Keita and a Peach, so won't be able to play both, but the Keita could be quite good to sort of try and get more lore, but Glenn currently is ahead, so Robert don't think we'll be able to outrace him at this stage. And the also coming down means that Calhoun will be banished here, potentially by the Fox. I think Glenn probably just wants to keep getting more lore. It challenges him with the Hades. Maybe he has some sort of bounce in hand. Ooh, this strength here now is quite good. Heat can come down, strength played on the Hades. Okay, Keita instead just going to ink and then take out the Hades here. So probably going to see a quest now with the docks. Ooh, actually just going to take out the crab. Interesting play. It means now Glenn, even with the bounce, won't be able to take out these unless it is a Fox. Since Fox won't be affected by Keita. Ooh, the Exert Elsa. Elsa just going to quest for 6, so threatening lethal on the board. Ooh, the Tiana. Nice tech include here from Robert, but Doc having 1 strength won't be enough to take out the characters on Glenn's side, so questing for 6 will take game number 2. Robert just having a bit of an unfortunate hand there with the songs and no singers, a lot of uninkable Storm Rage on, so rough hand there for Robert. So Glenn won that one 2-0, and I believe we'll be going into the top 8, which we'll have in a couple of videos' time. Still one more round to go. Thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying, please like and subscribe and tune in for the next video coming out tomorrow.